I feel led, I don't know if this is going to happen all through Lent, but I have a sneaking suspicion it might, to talk not just about the scriptures, but talk about aspects of Lent using the scriptures we hear. Last weekend I talked about temptation. This weekend I feel led to talk about one common Lenten practice of quote-unquote giving something up. And I have to admit, I'm struggling a little bit this weekend. This week I've struggled with this homily, just bringing it down to a decent size to start with, and organizing. I know what I want to say, and I'm using my text so I don't stray, but I'd like to start talking about sacrifice. And I want to read you a definition because that's the other thing I'm struggling with. I don't want to make it a teaching class either, but here's a definition of sacrifice: a material oblation made to the deity by means of a consecration and consumption of the thing offered. I know it's a little heady, but I want to break this down a little bit. First of all, as I've read about sacrifice this week, I find this interesting. I've been reading a lot all over the place, actually, for a couple weeks. And sacrifice to the deity seems to be a common practice throughout all religions of all times. And it doesn't seem to be something that one religion borrows from another. It seems from ancient times to be almost kind of a human trait that we offer some sacrifice to whatever God it is we think we worship. But a material oblation, so oblation is usually refers to something destroyed, burned up usually, and something material. And it's made to the deity by means of a consecration, I'll talk about that in a minute, and consumption. So you offer something to God, and it's completely destroyed, or it's destroyed to some degree, and then you eat the rest with the deity, is kind of the idea. And there are two reasons usually for sacrifices. Either it's expiatory, it's to cover some sin, it's to repair a relationship, or it's to cement the relationship that's already there. So, last thing I'll read to you is, not all sacrifices are expiatory. If the communion of man with the deity is conceived of as established, sacrifice just cements it, just makes it a better relationship. But if it's sundered because of sin, then it's to repair the relationship. And so as we think about sacrifice, first of all, we should understand that it's Jesus' sacrifice was expiatory. That's how the relationship between humankind and God was repaired. It was Jesus' sacrifice. We couldn't do it on our own, right? And because, and I think I've mentioned this before, there's a beautiful couple lines in a Christmas carol, an old German Christmas carol, O Jesulein Süß, O Jesulein mild. O Jesulein süß, O Jesulein mild, deines Vaters Zorn hast du gestillt. O Jesus sweet, O Jesus meek, you've stilled your Father's wrath. You've calmed his wrath. And we have to be careful when we talk about wrath, because sometimes as we read in the Old Testament, it can sound like God is in a huge snit and he's going to step on us if we don't be careful. If we don't, here, take this, take this. It's like giving something to a bully so he doesn't beat you up or something, That's not what we understand. God's wrath is God's reaction when our relationship with him is broken. God's wrath is God's steadfast resistance to evil. God gets, quote unquote, angry when we sin, not that he's mad at us, but God's wrath is what stirs up in him to crush evil when it arises, And so that's what the sacrifice does. But keep in mind, as we think about God being wrathful or angry, God himself sent the sacrifice. He gave us Jesus to make the sacrifice. So if God were just angry at us, he would just crush us and be done with it. No. He promised he would never do something like that. So he sends Jesus. So Jesus' sacrifice is what repairs the relationship of humankind with God. So now what's our part, right? Our sacrifices can be one of two things. It certainly can be expiatory in this sense. We contribute to the salvation of the world. Mary in Our Lady of Fatima encouraged us to offer up the daily sacrifices that come from our duty, for our daily duty. Those things that are difficult one way or another, offer them up to contribute to the salvation of the world. Paul says, I make up in my body what is lacking in Jesus. Not that there was anything wrong with Jesus' sacrifice, but he allows us to contribute. But the other kind of sacrifice we make is like Abraham's. Abraham's sacrifice was not for sin. Remember what we read. God put Abraham to the test. Do you love me, Abraham? Do you love me more than anything? And so he tests Abraham. He says, take your only son, your firstborn, and sacrifice it to me. And Abraham is willing. And so we hear these lovely words. The angel comes down. I know now how devoted you are to me, because you did not withhold even your only son. We still commonly say, as I say, what are you giving up for Lent? I give up candy for Lent. I give up cigarettes. I give up beer, whatever we give up, And I'm not sure how we started talking about that. I remember from as early as I can remember, we talked about giving things up for Lent. What I might suggest to you as a better way of describing it is to ask, what am I going to sacrifice to God for Lent? For this reason, partly it's psychological, you might say. Giving something up, just to use that phrase, the attention really is drawn to the thing itself. I'm giving up chocolate for Lent, So chocolate is like the focus. Or I'm giving it up. So the focus is either the thing, the chocolate, or the effort that I'm making, or the emptiness in my life or something like that. But when we use the word sacrifice, the word sacrifice really, if you understand it the way the church does, the focus is on God. So you bring your, let's say, the Old Testament sacrifice. I bring my 2-year-old goat to be sacrificed, No one really cares about the goat. It's a sign of whatever you're doing with the sacrifice. But the focus is on God. And so, if you think of the word sacrifice, it means literally to make holy. Only God is holy. All holiness comes from God. And so the way to make something holy is to give it to God, to dedicate it to God. This room is holy because it's dedicated to God and dedicated to the practices of our religion. In a way that our living rooms are not holy, It might be good places, nice places. But this is holy because of the intention of building this room, And so, instead of giving up chocolate, I might suggest you think about, this is my sacrifice to God. This is how I'm going to show God that God's important. Now, there are other reasons for, also the practice of, quote unquote, giving up strengthens us, we think, against temptation, things like that. But instead of making Lent somehow a muscular or ego-centered kind of, and I mean that descriptively, not pejoratively, it's not an egoistic practice. Your Lenten practice is supposed to be a practice, a holy practice. And so we give God this thing. That's why, I'm not sure people still do this or not, but when I was growing up, we did. If you, quote unquote, gave something up, you took the money that you would spend on that thing and put it in the poor box or put it in the offertory basket or something. Because then you really are giving it to God. I can remember as a kid, we used to think, okay, so if I give up candy all Lent, I'll have this much money left over, and I can, and I can buy something. And our parents, I think my mom or I don't know, somebody heard that and said, no, idiot, put it, And so I just want to encourage you, if that's your practice, if you're, quote unquote, giving something up this Lent, I suggest that you think of it in terms of sacrifice. Give that thing to God. And if it's something that involves money that you normally spend on it, then take that money and don't put it in your own pocket, because then you haven't given that thing to God yet. Give that money away to God in some way, some charity or something, offertory basket, well, it doesn't matter. Then it becomes a real sacrifice. And the other part, the suffering that we incur because of it, because we're used to having that thing and now we don't, that part then we offer for the salvation of souls or for a particular soul or something. It makes it a true sacrifice. We offer everything to God. We offer the suffering along with Jesus for the salvation of the world. And we offer the thing to God to show God how much we love him. I think I'll stop there. Just those two things, keep it, if that's your practice. And I know it's a practice for many people. So let's make our givings up in Lent real sacrifices. And we have as our model Jesus and Abraham.